Live for a live guy. I don't know what that means. We're live. Let's get going. Let's get party hardy, everybody. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you're coming in, please say hello in the chat. Let me know if you're here for the first time. As always, all that fun stuff. Really want to know if you're here. I'm just making sure that this stream is working. If you're here, I'm just making sure that. Boom, there it is. Amazing. Welcome, everybody. As always, I want to give a couple minutes for everyone to start coming in. But as you're coming in, say hello in the chat. Let me know if you're here for the first time. Also, give me one of your New Year's resolutions. If you make New Year's resolutions. If you don't, you can simply type, I don't make New Year's resolutions, which is totally fine. But as you're coming in, please say hello in the chat. Let me know if you're here for the first time. And let me know what is one of your New Year's resolutions, if you set resolutions. For me, you can go and you can listen to the latest episode of The Bear and the Swan, which we put out probably a couple weeks ago, about New Year's resolutions. Sweet Bear and I, my wife, we sat down and we talked about New Year's resolutions. We're big resolution people in our house, and that those are things that we set every year, and I'm actually really proud of Sweet Bear. Big shout out to her. We talk about this on the podcast. Sweet Bear set a resolution to stop drinking soda, all soda, in 2018, and she did it. 365 days, zero soda. I just hit the table. Sorry. I am so incredibly proud of her. I think it's awesome that she did that. Let's read about some of your resolutions. So as you're coming in, say hello in the chat. Let me know if you're here for the first time. And then we're typing in, what is a New Year's resolution that you set? Winnie Matthews here for the first time. Welcome, Winnie. So glad that you are here. Olga wants to read the Bible more. That's really cool. Trevor Mason, to end my lust and porn problem. That's a really good one that I think a lot of people probably have. I'll be praying for you that you can stick to that you can stick to that conviction all year. I think that's awesome. I think you're setting yourself up for future success. Araminta says, I stopped drinking soda 3 years ago. Congratulations. That's really cool. That's really awesome that you were able to stick with that. Actually, Sweet Bear still has not had one either. And we're at, January 8th. So we'll see how long she decides to stay. Ethan White says, I want to go on more walks. That's really cool. Ben Smith is here for the first time. Ben wants to read the Bible more and get more involved in church. That is awesome. Getting more involved in church was something that Sweet Bear and I, and really myself specifically, I was very, very passionate about in 2018. And that is a resolution that I think I stuck to. I got super involved in our church, Soul City Church. Shouts to anyone from Soul City who's watching. Yeah, it was just an amazing year because of that. Rebecca Erickson says, I want to read more books. I love reading. That's pretty cool. I love that. Let's see. Pamela, hi from West Virginia. First time. Welcome, Pamela, from West Virginia. To get closer to the Lord and win lots of people to Christ. That's great. That's so cool. Let's see. Chris B says, I tried to stop eating fast food, failed January 1st. Hey, what are you going to do? Try again next year. I don't know. All right, friends. I'm trying to sit on this beanbag again, and it just, I don't know why I'm all of a sudden feeling very uncomfortable when I try and sit on it. But anyway, welcome everybody to Q&J Today, the show where I hop on to answer some of your most pressing, most important, most deep questions. So as we're getting started, start throwing questions over in the chat. These can be deep spiritual questions, or they can be fun questions, hypotheticals, whatever you want to do. I am here to answer your questions. As always, I do not promise to have all the answers, but I do promise to be as honest as I possibly can with you all today. So as we're getting started, start throwing questions over in the chat. I'm going to begin pulling those and answering those in just a minute. But before we get started, as always, I want to let you all know that today's show is brought to you by the Super Chat. The Super Chat is a really amazing feature that helps people like you support this channel. For the last 5 years, I have been putting out multiple videos a week with the hopes of moving people like you forward in their faith, helping you deepen your relationship with Jesus through spoken word poetry, through short sermons, so many different things, Bible studies. And the way that I do that, a big part of how I continue to do that and continue to put out these videos for free is through the support of people just like you in the super chat. So if you want to support this ministry in a financial way today for as little as $1, what you can do is you can hit the little money symbol that's located just below where you type something into the chat. You fill in a little bit of information. It goes right into YouTube, which is owned by Google. So it's all good. It's all fine. But you put in that information and then you give $1, $2, $5, $10, however you're able today. Every dollar given in the super chat goes directly towards helping this ministry continue to grow and continue to reach more people. And so if you're in a place where you are able to do that today, I would very much appreciate it if you just throw a couple dollars in the super chat. Also, it will highlight your question and guarantee that I will answer it. I will answer every question that comes in with a super chat today. Now that that's out of the way, let's get a little drink of water. And then let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns, let's answer some questions. All right. Gonna start throwing them questions down. Olga asks, tips for memorizing the Bible. Well, I can't give you any tips for memorizing the whole Bible, seeing as I do not have the entire Bible memorized. But in terms of memorizing specific verses, obviously repetition is huge. One little trick that I tried, especially a lot last year, hoping to continue it this year when I get home, is I would take a verse that I would want to commit to memory. I would write that verse on a sticky note, and I would put it on the wall or on my desk right near where I put my water. I always have water or coffee or something to drink when I'm working. And every time I would take a sip, I would remind myself to read that verse. And so every time I would take a sip, I'd just be reading the verse over and over and over again. And within probably 2 days, depending on how long the verse was, I would have that verse memorized. And there are several verses that I committed to memory specifically because of that technique. And so that's a very specific little technique, but it worked for me. So hopefully it'll work for you as well. All right, friends, let's see. It is really hot in here all of a sudden. Oh, I'm dying. All right. I feel like there's a really noisy bird out on the deck because I keep hearing what sounds like a duck. I don't really know. Also, I've had these two awesome zits for the last, they've just been hanging out with me all of 2019, which has been pretty crazy. Usually zits go away from me. I don't know. They go away from me in a couple of days. Cassie Peters started going to Soul City in September. What's up, Cassie? So glad. Love Soul City. Love those people. All right. Let's see. What other questions do we have? Someone asked, I just missed it. Where'd it go? Beth Mullen asked, have you seen the new Mary Poppins? Yes, I have. Sweet Bear and I and Sweet Bear's mom, we actually just went to see it a few days ago. We went to see Mary Poppins Returns. I loved it. I really did. I mean, essentially, let's be honest. They just remade the first Mary Poppins with different actors and different songs, but exactly the same plot, pretty much. And every single song, it was like scene for scene and song for song was just like, hey, instead of Spoonful of Sugar, we're going to do that bath time song. And instead of Seppin' Time, we're going to do Triplet of Light. Like, but I didn't mind because let's be honest, I would have gone to see and enjoyed if they had remade Mary Poppins, but instead they remade it without getting any of the flack of doing a remake. Like, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I am all about the nostalgia, all about those feels. I thought Emily Blunt was as close to perfect as you can be. No one's ever going to be as good as Julie Andrews was as Mary Poppins. She was as close as you probably can get. So I really loved it. Loved Mary Poppins Returns. Thought it was great. Here we go. Cynthia, thank you so much for the generous super chat. Thank you. That really means a lot. Cynthia asked for help pray for Ralph, Ben, and Liz. Cynthia, I would love to. If you want to give us perhaps a little bit more context into what we can pray for, or maybe who those people are, those people in the chat, or those people in your life, if you feel comfortable. Otherwise, we are more than happy to pray for those people just by name, because you know and God knows exactly what they need. But if you want to give us perhaps a little bit more context, because I know this group, I know this chat, and we are not people who just say that we're going to pray for you. We are actually people who will pray for you. And so if you want to give us a bit more context, that would be great. If not, we're more than happy to help pray for Ralph, Ben, and Liz. Everybody, we're going to be praying for Ralph, Ben, and Liz as these live streams go on, whatever's going on in their lives. Thank you again, Cynthia, for the super chat. All right. What other questions do we have? The Lost Adventurer says, John, I'm so glad you're back. I missed your vids and the truth that you spread. I'm so glad to be back as well. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Alrighty. So Simone Waltman asks, thoughts on Lauren Daigle. Kier Meer asked the same thing, or Lauren Daigle. I'm actually not sure how to say her name, but I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, are we speaking specifically to Lauren Daigle's comments at the end of last year regarding homosexuality? I'm assuming that's what we mean. Type into the chat if that's what you're talking about. Cynthia has given us some context. They are my teenage kids. They all need to find Jesus wholeheartedly. That's it. That's awesome. We will be praying for your kids. And once again, their names are Ralph, Ben, and Liz. Cynthia's kids will be praying for them. Daily We Do, my good friends, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for your generosity. A big shout out to the channel Daily We Do, an amazing couple that I have just started following them as well and following their videos. I believe they just put out a new video yesterday. And so if you haven't subscribed to Daily We Do, if you haven't checked them out, they create some great videos, really good sound biblical teaching, at least the videos that I've watched thus far. I'm not giving them a full endorsement or anything like that, but they're good friends of this channel, and they continually support this channel. And so I want to help support their ministry as well. So if you want to go over, subscribe to Daily We Do, watch their videos, and let me know. Yeah, let me know. Alrighty. Let's see if anyone. So the Lauren Daigle question. That's where we want to go next, right? Yes. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, to give you a little bit of context, Lauren Daigle was being interviewed because she dropped an album not too long ago, and she was being interviewed on a Christian podcast or radio station, and the question of homosexuality came up. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that one thing that Lauren Daigle said, and the thing that people were really up in arms about, is she basically didn't take a side, or she didn't say one way. She said, I can't really say one way or another whether I think homosexuality is a sin. I think close to her exact quote was like, I'm not God, I can't judge, or something like that. So she didn't denounce and say homosexuality is a sin. She also didn't say that she thinks it's okay. She wasn't fully affirming, if you will. And obviously, a lot of people in the Christian world were very up in arms about this. It was headlines for days. People were very, very upset, calling her lukewarm, saying that, she should have stood up for her faith, all of these things. And I'll share my thoughts on it. I have sort of two thoughts on it. One, I was disappointed in how the Christian media basically, I think, acted exactly as the secular media would have in this situation. I saw a lot of articles. I listened to the whole interview, by the way, but I saw a lot of articles that were just taking little quotes and quotes that they knew would get a reaction. They took them out of context and just plastered them as a headline. And these are Christian publications, Christian websites, Christian YouTubers, the people, the Christian media, I think in a lot of ways acted the same exact way that the secular media does, doing things simply to get a reaction or to get more views or to get more readers, rather than actually seeking to tell the story and tell it with truth and tell it with love and tell it with grace. And so it was sad to see the Christian media not holding itself to a higher standard. So that's the first thing that I would say on it. The second thing that I would say on it is and this is just, again, my opinion, I very much respected Lauren Daigle in her honesty. I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with her one way or the other. I don't know if you can agree with her one way or the other, since she didn't actually take a stance. But I do respect her honesty. I respect that she was honestly in a place where she wasn't really sure. She was hopefully she's in a place where she's trying to figure that out. She's digging into God's word. She's having conversations. She's forming relationships. She's praying about it. Hopefully she is seeking to reach clarity or as close to clarity as we can come on a topic like homosexuality. But the fact that she was willing to be honest and say, hey, I don't have it all figured out. I'm not totally sure either. Rather than saying something that she actually doesn't believe or regurgitating something that she was just told all of her life. I really respected that, especially someone who has the giant platform that she does. And she knew that, I'm sure she knew that whatever response she gave, there would be a huge reaction one way or the other, because she has a lot of secular fans too, who are probably very gay affirming. And so I really appreciated her honesty. Whether you agree with her or not, I do appreciate that she was honest. So, all right, here we go. I'm glad we got to talk about that, actually. I would love the opportunity to talk more on this channel about stuff that's just going on in Christian culture. And what I would actually love is I would love to hear your thoughts on the Lauren Daigle situation. So if you want to start throwing that in the chat, I know some of you are already talking about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Lauren Daigle situation. I don't want this to turn into a debate in the chat room over homosexuality or anything like that. I would love to hear your thoughts on Lauren Daigle, the situation, how she reacted to it, how she responded to it, how you might have responded differently. However, none of us can really know because none of us have the platform or that she does. So anyway, that being said. All right, here we go. Next question comes from Martin Lopez. Martin says, John, are you a Spurs fan? So I am first and foremost and forever and always a Chicago Bulls fan. I'm from Chicago. I love Chicago. I love the Bulls. Yes, they're bad. Don't at me on that. However, the Spurs are definitely my Western Conference team. I really enjoy the Spurs. I fell in love with the Spurs towards the early 2010s. Especially when they played the Heat back to back in the finals, just seeing the type of basketball, the type of team basketball they play, I really love the Spurs. So, alrighty. All right, let's see. What other questions do we have? I want to make sure I'm not missing any other super chats. Oh, Menno, thank you so much for the super chat. I saw it and then I thought that I shouted it out, but I didn't really. So I apologize. Menno, thank you so much for the super chat. Menno says, John is right. This community is really helping each other. I'll pray for you too, Cynthia. We're all praying for you, Cynthia. Thank you, Menno, for your constant support of this community and of this channel. I so appreciate it. I really do love this community. Like, I guess I'll say, for those of you who weren't here yesterday, I'll probably be saying this the rest of this week as well, just kind of clarifying the changes that are being made to this channel and to this show moving into 2019. So for those of you who don't know, Q&J Today started last year in May as just a quick time for me to hop on and discuss and answer questions from you all. But there was no consistency with it. I was doing it anywhere between 2 and 5 times a week. I wasn't doing it at the same time. And a lot of you were asking me, John, can you do it at the same time every day so we can plan around it, so we know when to expect it? And with my schedule last year and with what my life was, that just wasn't possible. However, moving into 2019, one of the commitments I am making on this channel is 3 p.m. Central Time Q&J Today every day, or as close to every day as I possibly can. It's looking like I'm going to be able to do every day for the rest of this week, which is awesome. However, I'm not always going to be able to do every day. I'm hoping to be at least be able to do 4 to 6 per week. And really the big reason was I believe that this show, it provides an opportunity for some back and forth between myself and you all in real time, which is not something that any of my other videos accomplishes. And so if you're able to come on here and support via the super chat, or just support via asking questions in the chat or encouraging one another in the chat, I would really appreciate it, because I love this community so much and I love what live streaming allows me to do, which is to really talk back and forth with you all. We had a little conversation over the Lauren Daigle situation. Like, I think that's really awesome. And I think that's really important. I think this is as close to a strong community that we have on this channel. And so for those of you who show up consistently, I thank you. For those of you who show up when you can, I thank you. But that, unfortunately, is all the time I have for today. I have to get back to work, but I do love you all. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those of you who gave in the super chat. Thank you to everyone who asked questions. I'm sorry I didn't get to everything, but I do love you all. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow right here, 3 p.m. Central Time on Q&J Today. I love you all. Keep being awesome. Bye now.